Hi folks, just an update. I'd like to show you some new stuff that I've been working on in this area near Marfa. It's bordered by Fort Davis and the Alpine. Let me light it up for you. There's a whole lot out there. Let me get rid of the place marks. This is so far. Now there's still a lot up here that I want to work on. But I happen to find myself coming back into the southern area where the bighorn sheep, the porpoise, the buffalo, the horse are. And we're getting nearer and nearer to the Big Bend National Forest. I wanted you to see this. This is something. I'm not sure what, but I wanted you to take a look at the striping. This is no satellite imagery problem. This is actual striping in the earth. These people were amazing. They used so many kinds of texture down here. I'm just in awe of the artwork. Now I found another section of these stepped color corrections, and by that I just mean that these images have a definite starting point. They actually colored the earth in steps. It's simply amazing. I'm in awe. Let me light it up again for you. And I'll put a measurement on this for you. From right here at the top, going directly south in a straight line over hills and valleys and mountains and everything else. Goes right down to the Rio Grande at about that point. And that total is 49 miles, almost exactly. Let me show you. The end of this is actually right in the Rio Grande. It's just amazing. Look at this. I'll bet they don't even realize it's there. It looks like a sandbar, but it's actually straight line electrical connectors. I think this whole area was lit up so that people could see this art from an altitude. Now, this is coming into the Terlingua Ranch area. And this gets a little weird. This is Brewster. You see all this stuff? And just in case you don't believe it, these lines are real. They're cut right into the texture of the cliff face. And there's artwork here too. Let me light it up. This is the first guy that I came into, and I call him a seal. This is my favorite places in Saskatchewan because this is where I started. But this is the seal and how it looks These lines are just incredible. This is more like the Nazca lining itself, and I'll show you when we go back to the actual satellite imagery. I wanted to show you this as they probably see it. They must have a much better color definition than we could ever hope for. And this is the seal. This is just incredible work. I don't know of any construction machine that can actually do this. And this is an obvious piece of art to me. It certainly looks like a seal. Now we come into this. I'm calling this a winged sphinx. And this is really intricate. Every which way these lines go, every which way. I can't really tell what the face is. I think it's a lion, but it's so eroded by time. I think this is actually a multiple-faced image, and I wouldn't doubt it if that's a man figure there. And we come into the elongated head again. I'm sure this is something, but I can't tell. Now I wanted to show you this nice little piece of art. As we go up into the northern area, we come into this, and you might recognize this. I think this is going to be a hummingbird. Look at this. It looks more like the Nazca stuff. And let me just de-highlight it so you can see everything that I've been working on is intricate. It's but you can see this image, but just not as well unless you light it up. I think this whole area was intended to be electrical, a light show from satellite imagery, or actually from altitude. You get up about, this shows that we're at about 3,900 feet here. So in order to properly view this, you're going to have to be up between the FAA regulations, which are 14,500 feet. This is all in the E-class regulated airspace. I wonder why. And I wanted to show you guys that this extends into the Mexico area too. And I just highlighted these lines to show you that there is something else out there. But this is what I was working on for the last week or so. This is the Marfa area. And I kept going south, and I found this. And I want to work more with this, but I followed this line down here, and I came into this incredible stuff here, and I haven't even finished it. But it's exciting. Notice I don't highlight the things that they're using for interstates. I think that the Texans did not actually disturb any of these lines. I think they actually used them to their benefit because they were so straight and cut right through the mountains and everything. That must have been a godsend for the Texans. But notice it goes all the way down to Rio Grande. It's just incredible to me that people could make this kind of artwork. Now I want to work with this area a little more. It's interesting because of the patterns and everything. But they actually have a line of color up here too that's bordered by every ridge. It's so intricate. I can't begin to to line that particular ridge top, and I don't intend to. But notice these lines extend everywhere, and I think they are electrical in nature and meant to highlight their artwork. They actually use geography and color to do what they wanted to in the field of art. I would never have known that there was a mate under here until I saturated the color, by the way. That's how I found the second bighorn sheep. And I have to think that the people who this art is intended for see things very, very differently than us. Although, you know, our eyes get into some of the actual coloring and stuff, I think that their eyes see much, much better into the patterns, into the colors. I'm always amazed at what I find here. I try not to line the actual interstates, though, just because I know that someone's going to ridicule that. Don't believe in any airport out here, because this is the only one that's in use. There are a couple down in Big Bend, but the FAA is maintaining a regulated airspace over this incredible archaeological site. There are lines every which way, and they don't just come up unnaturally. These are not natural features. And every one of these connectors is different. And they actually form images too. I'm blown away. But how they get textures competing in the same spot, it reminds me of a great big inkjet printer, where it has to make these digitized steps. Now notice that these are not natural features, but they are definitely intelligently made. I can't say man-made. I don't know when man had the tools to do this. But notice they're all different widths, but they all form a straight line. It's just incredible. The shading, the coloration, the actual tools that they use to cut all have the same width. We don't have these. We have earth movers that'll move great big chunks, but nothing that'll remove things in 5-6 foot path. I'm just blown away. Any help is welcome. Any comments are too. Thank you very much.